dude has built an empire off of what he does, and people support him. So as a business person, he's done it. I mean, people for years. I mean, when Spike was making movies and when like it was like Whoopi and Denzel and Spike, and it was like we gotta make a black studio. We gotta pull our resources together, make a black studio, and make our own movie, make our own. Tyler Perry doing it. It's done, okay? So look, I mean, I don't particularly care. I've never seen any of the shows. I've seen just images of them, of the television shows. You know, they seem a little silly to me and over the top. I have to admit, I enjoy some Madea. Madea is funny to me. Madea is funny to me. Like all the rest of the other stuff with the morality tale and the wild like tonal swings in his work, I can do without. Like just bring me more Madea. I'd watch Madea. But in terms of, I think that his heart's in the right place in terms of, the kind, like the movies, he's all depicting middle class, very aspirational people, who are lawyers and doctors, and he even tells you, well, you're a lawyer and you're a pediatrician and you're a heart surgeon. So like in that respect, it's like it's good. At least it's aspirational. I'd rather see like I remember when I saw Diary of a Mad Black Woman. First of all, I was like, holy cow. Look at this line, it's like a Star Wars line going out this theater. I didn't even never heard of Tyler Perry before this movie comes out. And people are eating it up. And I came out of the movie saying, you know what? It's a little crude in its execution. It's a little like, but in terms of the filmmaking, it wasn't terrible because Darren, I can't think of his last name, directed that. That was the only movie that Tyler Perry didn't direct. That was actually had some, a modicum of craft in it. And no, I'm serious. I mean, look, I'm keeping it real. It's like he's not a bad person. Okay. And I came out of the movie saying, I'd rather see that than Booty Call. I'd rather have that be an image of us than Booty Call. Now that being said, I don't want either one of them really. But again, I think that it's not as terrible as people are saying, and it's not as good as the box office numbers are. Just because something makes money doesn't mean it's good. It just is like popular. It taps into something that people respond to. And it's just not. He's not what I don't do what he does.
Okay.
And and I think it's more of a tonal thing than anything. I mean, it's like it's he's not interested in art. He's interested in churning out product. And there is value in that. There is value in building up a studio and building up and being independent. And look, the guy, I've been through the studio. I mean, he's got huge sound stages. He's running 2 television shows at the same time. He's like, it's the race to 100 episodes so I can get syndication. I can make money, and my grandchildren can make money, and my great-grandchildren. Wow. I mean, it is wealth. He is building wealth. So I wish he would get better as the movies go on. Maybe he will, I don't know. But I don't think that's his focus right now. I think he's interested in just putting product out there that people are going to respond to. And, it's funny too because Hollywood doesn't know what to make of this guy. They're like, every time he has a hit, they're like, what am I doing? That's phenomenal. It's not gonna happen. It should happen again. How did that happen? Opening weekend. Why did they get married to? $41 million. It's like somebody's going to see it. Somebody's going to see it and enjoying the hell out of it because people roll in the aisles. It's like Def Comedy Jam up in there.
It's funny to talk about Tyler Perry. A few actors and I we were talking because there was an audition recently that we all went to. It was for Tyler Perry for a TV show, and there was one character that they had called me in for, and she was like ghetto, and I had a hard time for it. It was the artist, it was the progressive. I had a difficult time. to an actress friend of mine. She's young, and she's still in school. And she said, "Well, I would do it." She said, "You know, every actress should have a ghetto girl in her back pocket. Every actor should have a thug in her back pocket." What do you think of that?
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I mean, look, it's not ideal. I mean, it is certainly something that, you know, unfortunately, and there was an article in the New York Times this past weekend, you know, that there's this idea of this, you know, phrasing of black pathology that goes on in movies and in television. And yes, those images are going to be there. I mean, it's on Southland. It's on television. They're depicting.
I mean, there's some reality.
There's some reality to it. So I mean, I think if you know, you can play a thug and give him some dimensionality. You can play a ghetto girl. I mean, like I'll give you an example. Like I was so pissed off when I saw the movie Couples Retreat. And that's the other thing. I'm going to talk about that for just a quick second. It's because, you know, we're quick to criticize each other. And, you know, in black movies, I don't hear nobody like complaining about some of these mainstream images that people, you may not even go to the movie, but there's just some real bullshit going on out there. Like, Couples Retreat had, you know, Faison Love and this actress named Kelly Hawk. And she was like the young girl that he had left his wife for. And she was just unabashedly ghetto. And it was like, there was no kind of irony to it. There was no kind of like, every time you went to it was the same ghetto. I'm like, okay, let it be a ghetto girl. Go to the next level. Have her something crazier. Have her something just like, you know, like way ghetto. But they were acting like, oh, whatever. And it was just kind of like, are you kidding me? I mean, this is 2009, 2010. Why do we have the same? I get the ghetto girl. I get the all of that. But you know, twist it on its head a little bit. Like surprise us. Don't give me something. Don't give me the same thing over and over again. I mean, I mean, like the same thing with the Blind Side. It's like, how often are we gonna see the black gentle giant? Like benevolent, right? But no, at the same time, it's a true story. I mean, part of it's true is she took a young man into her home. But okay, the comedic version would be like, okay, what if that guy was like DMX and he was like, hey, she still feel that same humanity, like, you know, like, oh, he's just, you know, he's been damaged. You know what I'm saying? But that was same book to deal with that, you know. But I mean, I'm tired of seeing this. I mean, I read a script recently where it's like this big, fat, emasculated black kid. You know, he's in this marching band. His suit is too tight for him, and you know, he has asthma. And like, I'm like, somebody really wants to make this? I mean, just give me something different. Like, there's so many different facets to us and how we are and how we live and who we are, and like, you know, it's not always depicted in the best way or the most like three-dimensional way, and that ticks me off. It's like, you know, let's just do something different. And I know that they want something different, but it doesn't always turn out that way. And that's upsetting to me. Like that but you know, there's no way to check it, you know, on that.
Right. So you say do something different. How do we do it?
Well, you know, you gotta have, you know, people who are what's going on, and it's like, look, man, it wasn't a banner year, you know, and you talk about movies that performed and didn't perform, like last year, like, you know, Just Right, they pushed that movie with Latifah and Common, they pushed it, they tried to, the people didn't show up. They kind of showed up for Death at a Funeral, you know, and a few others, but you know, it was kind of like, they showed up for all, you know, all the Tyler Perry stuff, and that's what they're defining as black movies nowadays, and that's unfortunate. I think the important thing is not so much, okay, we didn't get the Oscar love. Got a lot of Oscar love last year, again, a lot of it was for black pathology, but
That's always the case.
it